जय श्री माताजी। विश्व के सभी साधकों का सुबह के ध्यान सत्र में हार्दिक स्वागत है। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी को नमन करके हम सब ध्यान की स्थिति में बैठते हैं। चित्त सहस्रार पर परम पूज्य श्री माताजी आज का ध्यान सत्र शुरू करने की कृपया अनुमति प्रदान कीजिए। कुंडलिनी चढ़ा के सामूहिक बंधन लेते हैं। अपना चित्त हृदय में लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माताजी कृपावंत होकर आप हमारे हृदय में विराजिए। श्री माताजी कृपा कर हमारा हृदय प्रेम, करुणा और वात्सल्य से भर दीजिए। श्री माताजी आपकी कृपा में हम केवल शुद्ध आत्मा हैं। तीन महामंत्र, तत्पश्चात श्री गणेश मंत्र। साक्षात् जय श्री माता जी। संतुलन करने के लिए अपना राइट हैंड पृथ्वी तत्व पर रखते हैं। चित्त इड़ा नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के ईड़ा नाड़ी पर तमोगुण के सभी बाधक तत्व पृथ्वी तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर सामूहिकता की ईड़ा नाड़ी शुद्ध कर दीजिए। राइट हैंड गोद में, लेफ्ट हैंड आकाश की तरफ। अपना चित्त पिंगला नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के पिंगला नाड़ी पर रजोगुण के सभी बाधक तत्व, अतिरिक्त उष्णता, अहंकार आकाश तत्व में विलीन कर दीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर सामूहिकता की पिंगला नाड़ी शुद्ध कर दीजिए। लेफ्ट हैंड गोद में, दोनों हाथ सामने। अपना चित्त मध्य नाड़ी और सहस्रार पर। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपावंत होकर आप हमें संतुलन दीजिए, हमें वर्तमान में रखिए। अपना चित्त मूलाधार चक्र पर लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में सामूहिकता के मूलाधार चक्र पर श्री गणेश जी की शक्ति जागृत कीजिए, कार्यान्वित कीजिए। चित्त मूलाधार पर, श्री कुंडलिनी गौरी माता। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कुंडलिनी गौरी माता साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवै नमो नमः। चित्त स्वाधिष्ठान चक्र पर, श्री माता जी कृपा कर आप हमें शुद्ध इच्छा शक्ति प्रदान कीजिए। कृपा कर हमें निर्मल विद्या दीजिए। चित्त नाभि चक्र पर, परम पूज्य श्री माता जी आपकी कृपा में हम सब संतुष्ट हैं, समाधानी हैं। चित्त भवसागर में, परम पूज्य श्री माता जी कृपा कर आप हमें स्वयं का गुरु बनाइए। श्री माता जी गुरु पद के लिए कृपया हमें पात्र बनाइए। चित्त अनाहत चक्र पर, परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में हम सब निर्भय हैं, सुरक्षित हैं। कृपा कर हमारे हृदय में श्री जगदम्बा, श्री दुर्गा माता की शक्ति जागृत कीजिए। चित्त विशुद्धि चक्र पर, श्री माता जी, कृपा कर आप हमें साक्षी स्वरूप बनाइए। हमें सामूहिकता में प्रस्थापित कीजिए। चित्त आज्ञा चक्र पर लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में हमने सबको दिल से क्षमा कर दी है। हमारा किसी के भी ऊपर गुस्सा नहीं है। बैक आज्ञा चक्र, श्री माता जी, जाने अनजाने हमारे हाथों से जो भी गलतियां हुई हैं, इन सब के लिए कृपा कर आप हमें क्षमा कर दीजिए। चित्त सहस्रार में लाते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपावंत होकर आप हमारे सहस्रार पर विराजिए। कृपा कर हमारा आत्म साक्षात्कार दृढ़ कीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर हमें निर्विचारिता प्रदान कीजिए। हमें ध्यान में स्थित कीजिए। जय श्री माता जी। इसी ध्यान की स्थिति में अमृतवाणी आत्मसात करते हैं। सहस्रार पूजा 1997, इसका पहला भाग।
Today, we all have assembled here to worship the Sahasrara. As you have realized that Sahasrara is a very important part of the subtle system. Of course, this is a great day in 1970 that this chakra was opened up. But by that, what you have achieved, we have to see it. First of all, when the kundalini rises, she goes to your void. Where is your dharma? And your dharma gets established. At the Nabhi chakra, we can say around the Nabhi chakra, your dharma gets established, which is the innate, pure, universal religion, is established. But then the kundalini rises higher. Despite the establishment of the dharma, we start becoming little bit aloof from other societies because we find they are adharmis. They have no dharma. Also, I think we are afraid that we might get caught up with their adharmas. So at that stage, we don't want to cross the limits of Sahaja-yoga. Want to keep to Sahajogis, to Sahaja-yoga program, and to our personal Sahaj life. Of course, it's important because first this chakra must be fully nourished. And this chakra is actually moves round the Nabhi chakra, which we know as Swadhisthana. This Swadhisthana chakra is in a way very important because it supplies energy to the brain. So when dharma is established, the subtle energy pushes through the kundalini more energy for the Sahasrara and also the energy for dharma, which was in the Sahasrara, in the Swadhisthana, also starts flowing with it. It crosses over and starts rising in the Sahasrara. Till then, I would say, we are not yet full Sahajogis. Because one can become fanatic about Sahaja. I have seen people who are so fanatic that they cannot even meet people who are not Sahajogis. They cannot even talk to people who are not Sahajogis. And all the time they are frightened of meeting people who are not Sahajogis. Of course, you need not meet people who are evil, people who are against Sahaja-yoga, who talk against it. But those who are seeking the truth, which is our duty, that we have to go to them. So when it reaches the state where it is established in the brain. That time we go beyond dharma. Dharmatit, we become beyond. Dharma means that dharma becomes part and parcel of our being. We cannot lose it. Such dharma becomes within us a part and parcel, which is a very great achievement, because then you don't have to do any rituals, you don't have to worry about meeting other people, you don't have to worry that your vibrations will be harmed. Then you don't catch from anyone. You don't catch also other negative forces. No one can harm you. That I call as the completion of your Shraddha. That time Sahasrara is so fully enlightened that you become dharma. For example, we can give the example of Christ. Christ saw a prostitute being stoned. Now Christ had nothing to do with the prostitute, just the opposite of it. But when he saw she was stoned, he took a stone in his hand. And he says that those who think who have not sinned at all can throw a stone at me. And everybody was stunned. Why is he taking the side of a prostitute? He is a religious man. He should also put stones on her. But he was standing on truth. That's exactly what happens to you when it is established in Sahasrara that you stand on truth. There's a little difference in in dharma and in truth. A dharma person might become too dharmic, illogically dharmic, can go to the right or to the left. A dharmic person might think he is the superior person to others. That why should he try to save anybody else? Let them go to hell. Who cares? This kind of an attitude can come in a person who is dharmic. Also, I have seen some Sahajayogis who start new methods in Sahajayoga. You do like this, so it will be all right. You do like that, it will be all right. Because they are not stagnated at the point of dharma. So they start telling people that you do this way, do that way. But when you rise to the point of truth, then you don't do any rituals. You don't need any ritual. You are not bothered. Because you are in dharma. And here you are standing on the truth. And truth is much greater than dharma. For example, a person who is standing on truth, he doesn't care for any absurd ideas about religion, even about Sahaj religion. He doesn't care that after all this is Sahaj, this is not Sahaj. He goes beyond. In the sense he sees a global truth within himself. He sees the truth which is all pervading. Not only sees, but he knows and he feels, and he is in that truth. So when dharma flowers into truth, it's a very beautiful happening, and that should happen to all of you. So many things can linger on if you are only on the dharma level. I have seen people going into ego, making money. Sometimes they don't even ask me and go on doing things which they should not do. They do wrong things which are not good for Sahaja. There is no humility about it. And they don't understand that whether this dharma is standing on truth or untruth. So we have to go to the foundation of dharma, which is truth. As described before, it's a tree of life which has got its roots up in the brain and the branches in the body. So you have to go to the roots of everything, and that is the place where you reach when you are absolutely established in Sahasrara. In the Sahasrara are the roots of all these ideas we have, or we can say all these swarupas we have taken. We have now become dharmic. What is the root of dharma? Why should we be dharmic? What is the need to be dharmic? There are many people in this world who are extremely adharmic, living very well. According to, outward expression, we feel that they are very happy people, they are all right, they are enjoying themselves, while we are deprived, perhaps, of all the so-called enjoyments of these people. So, at the state of only dharma, things become very important to us, which may not be standing on truth. There are so many things like that, I can point it out to you, that how Sahajogis falter even after achieving dharma state, they falter. I have seen people giving up their drugs, alcoholism, giving up other kinds of addictions, even their language improves. And their, we can say, behavior is changed. They become humbler people, no doubt. But still, they are conscious that they are standing on dharma. This consciousness has to disappear. At the stage of Sahasrara, this consciousness disappears because truth is love and love is truth. That is the point where the kundalini meets the heart chakra. As you know, the pita of heart is here. So when kundalini pierces through that heart chakra, what starts flowing in the brain, in the Sahasrara, is the truth, but truth that is love. There's a difference between truth as itself and truth that is love. So out of love for that prostitute, that Christ stood by her. He stood on the roots of truth, no doubt, but what was flowing through his heart was the love, the pure love. So now when we have pure love for someone, we see the whole thing in a different manner. We see a person in a different manner. And it becomes very sweet. Otherwise, truth can be very bitter, can be very painful. But truth, which is adorned with love, is just like a flower without the thorns. It's very interesting how a person who is pouring with love and is standing on truth. That's the personality you have to become. Now in the expression of love, we can take an example to understand. Supposing I meet somebody and he is telling all kinds of horrible things about another person. So I feel tremendous love for him as well as for the person whom he is telling all these things. So now, I take to lie, a complete lie, which is the truth also, in a way. I tell that person, see, what are you talking? The person about whom you are saying all this has been just praising you all the time. And here you are talking like this. Now this is not the truth actually. But you take the help of the lie, the other side of the truth, to bring out a friendship between the two persons. So this is what is the work of love, that it tries to bring people closer to each other, to say things by which they become one, united. So all the divisive methods that we have used so far just disappear, and we try to understand what is the method by which we can join people's heart. As it is, you are in collective consciousness. But this collective consciousness, if it is superficial, you can achieve great results like as you have done it. Maybe you can build beautiful ashrams, you can do all this. But when it is filled with love, collective consciousness, then the joy is complete of collective consciousness. Now people talk of peace. You cannot have peace without this new awareness, we call it collective consciousness. But in that also there has to be the main tattva, principle of love. For example, now Sahajayogis, say from Germany and Austria, are going to Israel. It's very fulfilling. I was happy that they have chosen for this puja people from Israel. And then I found Israelis coming to Egypt, forgetting all that Muslims have done to them. It's really remarkable how people get attracted towards expression of their love to their fellow men, to other Sahajayogis. And once it starts growing, you will be surprised how we can change this world. Most of the problems, human problems, are due to hatred. And is very commonly used, I hate. It's absurdity. It's a sin to hate someone. Why do you hate someone? You can hate the sin, you can hate the evil, but you should not hate people just for hating's sake. This hatred that we have is responsible for all the problems we have had so far. Because one person becomes very powerful. By dividing people, he becomes very powerful. And these divisive things have really crushed so many countries. For example, our country was divided by the British. Now they are having the division. This doesn't stop. By dividing us, what has happened? All the countries who have gone away from India are suffering very much. Those people who tried to divide the country thought that they'll become prime ministers, this, that. Most of them have been murdered by their own people. You can see clearly how hatred manifests. It starts from a small point and it manifests all over, very clearly it can be seen in any country being divided. There's no need to divide any country. That creates more hatred and more trouble. In the same way in SahajaYoga, we should not think of have divisions. Now we have got a beautiful land. As you must have heard about near the Ganges. Now people are thinking if they can have separate houses, separate compounds. Why? You know how to live collectively, you enjoy collective life, so why do you want to have separate houses? What secrets are we going to have from each other? After all, whatever we do is known on the vibrations. You cannot hide anything. So why have separate houses? Why do you want to have some privacy? Because in SahajaYoga there is no privacy. We know about everyone. What are they up to? What are their problems? What chakras they are catching? Isn't it? So there is no secret about anything in SahajaYoga. Everyone knows about everyone. So what's the use of having privacy also? I can't understand. It's like this, you see, still the mind is working like that. Then they are thinking of inheritance. All right, I was saying that you can have inheritance, but if your son is not a Sahajayogi, what to do? We cannot keep a culprit there to trouble everyone. It is not the rules and regulations that are going to keep you happy and joined together, but it is the pure collective consciousness and its love. Because as you know, we have no proper organizations, we have no clergyship, we have nothing like that. Leaders also can shift more times than Ganges river can shift its course. So there is nothing like that. It's all on a shifty sand we are standing all the time. And your mother is another one who tries all kinds of tricks. The reason is, I want you to stand on rocks. And this rock is emitting love, is emitting that divine love. And the joy of that love is really so beautiful. For example, people would like to have their separate bathrooms, especially Indians. Suddenly they have become Britishers, and Britishers have become Indians, you know. Indians want to have their separate bathrooms. I don't know why. And this is a very common disease with Indians. And it is also spreading to other people, I feel sometimes, that they want to have their separate bathrooms. In a collective life, there's no need. You don't even know. But if you ask me, I won't even know if I've been to bathroom or not. Just go there, come back, finished. I have no time for all that. In the same way, you also should have a concept of a society which is living like an ocean. If ocean rises, they rise. If falls, they fall. Just one union of love. I am expecting that kind of a society at the foothill of Himalayas. And I am sure you, all of you, will realize that Himalaya being the Sahasrara of the world. Luckily, I wanted it to be done before the Sahasrara Pujan it is done. With the blessings of Himalayas, I should say. But Himalaya is also like a Sahasrara where the kundalini has risen, where the vibrations have come out. And in the sky you can see the vibration. But this Himalaya is ruled by a wrathful god called Shiva. That's the dangerous part of it. So we have to be very, very careful. If we try to play around, if we try to take to hatred among ourselves, take to divisive methods, take to something that is not Sahaj, this wrathful God is sitting on our head. He is also in Mecca. This is Makkeshwar Shiv there. If you try to misbehave, he comes out with his wrathfulness. Anywhere you are, you have to be very careful that this Shiva is everywhere. Like one of
जय श्री माता जी। कृपया ध्यान की स्थिति बनाए रखें। जय श्री माता जी। श्री आदि शक्ति मंत्र। ओम त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री आदि शक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देवै नमो नमः। जय श्री माता जी। आरती की तैयारी करते हैं। आरती के लिए खड़े होते हैं।
सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जग में संकट कारक कितने लिए अवतार माँ, कितने लिए अवतार। विश्व में तेरी महिमा, विश्व में तेरी महिमा। तू गंगा यमुना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जो भी शरण में आया सुख ही मिला उसको माँ, सुख ही मिला उसको। बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ, बैठ के दिल में ओ माँ। लौट के ना जाना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। सबको दुआ देना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मल माता जी, जय निर्मल माता जी। दिल में सदा रहना माँ, सबको दुआ देना। मानव में को दुआ देना। बोलो श्री आदिशक्ति माता जी, श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।
जय श्री माता जी। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी के श्री चरणों पर प्रार्थना अर्पित करते हैं। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आज का ध्यान हम आपके श्री चरणों पर समर्पित करते हैं। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर सामूहिकता के नाभि चक्र पर विश्व निर्मल धर्म प्रस्थापित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर आप हमें धार्मिक कर्मकांड और संस्कार से अलिप्त रखिए, हमें सहज की मर्यादा में रखिए। श्री माता जी, कृपा कर आप हमें धर्मातीत बनाइए। श्री माता जी, हमारी श्रद्धा और समर्पण वृद्धिंगत कीजिए, हमें सत्य मार्ग में प्रस्थापित कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर आप हमें वैश्विक सामूहिकता में प्रस्थापित कीजिए। श्री माता जी, हमारे अंदर के सारे दोष, दुर्गुण, नकारात्मक विचार नष्ट कीजिए और हमें सद्गुण संपन्न बनाइए। श्री माता जी, आपकी कृपा में हमारे हृदय में शुद्ध प्रेम और करुणा की शक्ति भर दीजिए, हमें मधुर वाणी प्रदान कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, कृपा कर सारे विश्व में शांति प्रस्थापित कीजिए। परम पूज्य श्री माता जी, आपके श्री चरणों पर हमारा कोटि कोटि नमन, कोटि कोटि नमन, अनंत कोटि नमन। जय श्री माता जी। सामूहिक वंदन लेते हैं। जय श्री माता जी। आज के कार्यक्रम, आज शाम का ध्यान 7 बजे प्रतिष्ठान पुणे यूट्यूब चैनल पर लाइव प्रसारित होगा। आज का ध्यान सत्र यहीं पे संपन्न होता है। अब हम सहज संगीत का आनंद उठाते हैं। आज का दिन सबके लिए आनंदमय, मंगलमय रहे। जय श्री माता जी।
चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई। श्री निर्मल माँ की चरण कमल सुखदाई, श्री निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण जग जननी जगपालिनी, 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 भवसागर पार लगाई, भवसागर पार लगाई, देखो माँ की कृपा हुई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, श्री निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण चरण कमल चरण कमल चरण कमल चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, श्री निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल सुखदाई, चरण कमल, चरण कमल, चरण कमल सुखदाई। निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल पर, निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल पर मन को लगाओ इस युग में। निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल पर मन को लगाओ इस युग में। दूर होगा मन का अंधियारा, दूर होगा मन का अंधियारा। निरानंद 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 मिलेगा। निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल पर मन को लगाओ इस युग में। निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल पर मन को मन है सिंहासन माँ को बिठाओ। मन है सिंहासन माँ को बिठाओ। चमत्कार कितने होते देखो। मन है सिंहासन माँ को बिठाओ। चमत्कार कितने होते हैं देखो। निर्विचार में तेरे मैं मिट जाता। निर्विचार में तेरे मैं मिट जाता। चैतन्य प्रवाह तुम पर बहेगा। निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल पर मन को लगाओ इस युग में। निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल पर मन को ज्ञान मिलेगा स्वयं को परखने। ज्ञान मिलेगा स्वयं को परखने। कुछ कमी है तो ठीक करने। ज्ञान मिलेगा स्वयं को परखने। कुछ कमी है तो ठीक करने। शुद्ध इच्छा करो साक्षी रूप धरो। शुद्ध इच्छा करो साक्षी रूप धरो। क्षमा करो आत्म साक्षात्कार मिलेगा। निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल पर मन को लगाओ इस युग में। निर्मल माँ के चरण कमल पर मन को लगाओ इस युग में। दूर होगा मन का अंधियारा, दूर होगा मन का अंधियारा। निरानंद 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 मिलेगा निर्मल माँ के चरण